Welcome back to another episode of Picking Up the Pixels RPG Love. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Musa.
Hello.
Quick plug here, patreon.com/E1M1. That's the place where you can use your hard-earned cash to support the show and get, I don't like way too many episodes of audio that we release every week. It's like at least 2 episodes a week. All of that stuff over there. The recommended tier is a $5 tier or higher if you have a rich friend. That gets you all the stuff that we release at $5 a month. That's pretty cheap. And sometimes the Outcast, which is the episodes where we kind of talk about everything other than video games, sometimes that has some audio that Musum is on. So if you want to hear some behind the scenes stuff from us every once in a while, check that out over at patreon.com/E1M1. Musum, what have you been playing this past month?
I played more games this month than last month.
All right.
So starting out, I guess we can just start with Diablo 4. The last time I was complaining about login issues. That's really the only login issue I've had. Like, I think I had one other instance where I had issues getting in briefly, but for the most part, I've been able to get in the game within a minute or two. I found myself in a couple sessions just hanging out in a Skype audio chat with like Justin from Tiltcast and Rusty and Jason, and it was
nice.
It's very like. I think Justin commented on it. It was very like Xbox 360 days where you would just sit.
That's what I was just thinking.
Play separate games.
That's right.
I still really like that game, but I fell off it a little bit. I guess before I get why I fall off of it, one thing I really like is the variety of stuff to do, and your story can go any direction. Like you're kind of given. I assume it's acts 1, 2, and 3, like from the get-go. I just went ahead and did act 1, but it looked like you could just go do act 2 instead if you really wanted.
Interesting.
I don't know. I've had the internet tell me that I'm just supposed to rush through the story and then I can go back and do like side quests and stuff. But I get that like a lot of the Diablo season stuff is about making a new character and maxing it out, but I'm just not that type of gamer. Like, I'm going to start a character, I'm going to play for a bit, and I'm probably never going to max any of my characters out on this.
I really liked the Diablo 3 seasonal stuff because, and I know that I've played very little of Diablo 4, and I know that the seasons for Diablo 4 haven't started. But I always really liked the seasonal stuff in 3 because I got to roll a new character, and it was pretty easy to max level people in Diablo 3. I know it's considerably harder in 4, but I liked playing with a different build. You know, like, here I'm my Demon Hunter. I always play the same build. I'm always playing the same sort of thing. I like being able to say, well, this one, they give you this armor set, and I like playing this other build, or let's try this little different thing this time. So I kind of liked that, even if I never maxed them out. I was kind of like, maybe I'll start a sorcerer this time, or I'll start a druid this time. I kind of liked that.
I think that'd be really appealing to me, too, if I gamed more than I do right now.
Right.
And this is not me even. I guess the internet's been negative about it, so I should be clear. Like, I'm not being negative about it. I think it's a perfectly fine system. It's just not how I'm going to play the game the first time through, and like on Diablo 3, like I'd sit down with a friend and be like, yeah, I'll start a seasonal character. Well, let's do this. And then I'll give them level 20 and inevitably fall off because I'm mostly just playing the game when I'm with a friend. But
and I think some of the negative reaction that I have seen online, and I don't blame people that have this reaction to it, is there's a kind of a misunderstanding of like, I have to start the game back from the beginning. Like, why would I play all this stuff back over from the beginning? That doesn't sound any fun at all. And it's like, that's okay. That probably just means that this isn't a mechanic that you're used to or that you want to interact with. I think if the season launches and I think there's a battle pass in Diablo 4 with the seasons. I think if the battle pass is like only locked behind seasonal stuff and people are more like they want to play through one character, they want to get through the story, maybe do a little bit of end game and then kind of be done with it. I think that's okay, but if the battle pass is kind of locked behind the seasonal stuff, I think that's going to be a probably a pretty big negative for a lot of people, and understandably.
Well, all that aside, it's still a really good freaking game.
Mm-hmm.
I am immensely enjoying the Barbarian. I've decided like I'm just done with meta building in my life. Like I don't need that kind of
Yeah.
negativity. So I kind of just choose the skills I think are fun, and I find it more entertaining to try to come up with combos on my own and not like
Yeah.
min-max things. Just what is fun for me to do as a player and combining these things, whether it makes it faster or slower or what, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I enjoy how freely you can just I'm gonna upgrade my armor or weapon like a tier or two because I have the materials and I've been breaking them down, or oh
Right.
crap, I'm low on money. I better just sell the stuff I find for a while instead of, do this just to build a little bit of a surplus back. And
Mm-hmm.
I like being able to refund anything on the tree fairly inexpensively
I
and
like that a lot.
rebuild it. It's a really good game, and I'm gonna spend more time with it. I think I'm
Yeah.
through Act One. I think it's the last thing I did.
Okay.
But I've explored parts of the world that are for Act Two and Three, and I've done a stronghold, which was kind of a story surprise. I was expecting something different from it, but
Mm.
I think it's a cool take on something like that.
Nice.
Um, I like that if I have trouble with an area, I can invite my friends, and no matter what level they are, they can come in and still be, you know, no one is too weak and no one is too strong. Everyone, like the
Yep.
scale, enemies are magically scaled to each of us somehow. Um,
And they have cross-platform play too, so like it doesn't matter what platform they're on. You can just invite them and you guys can play.
yeah, like I don't think I probably would have gotten it on PS5 had I realized that, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I say that maybe not. I mean, I guess we'll never gonna seemingly know if Microsoft will be successful in buying Blizzard, but
Right.
um, maybe when I'm 50, we'll find out.
That's true. That's true.
Um, but like, I've played with like the two of the people I've played with are actually no, all three of them are all PC players.
Oh, nice.
I've been trying to talk them into trying a controller, and one of them is kind of likes it, but I guess they get some sort of accuracy or something that they want with a mouse and keyboard. But they're kind of
Sure.
spellcaster types, and I don't know what it is about Diablo. For some reason, I just want to do melee in Diablo or shapeshifting or something. Which,
Just want to get all the way up on the enemies.
yeah, like so I'm kind of assuming I see this game through to the end, which I very clearly may not.
Mm-hmm.
I think what my intention is, I'm going to finish it out with my barbarian, and then I will start working on the other classes because I do miss playing the druid I started with. Like they seem
Right.
pretty cool, but it seems more like you unlock stuff kind of for everyone as you go, and if completing the campaign stops mattering for any class you roll up after you beat the game, then I may as well just finish it out, and do whatever
Yeah.
side quests I want to do, which is all of them. Uh,
Right.
and I think last time I said the barbarian had 3 weapons. That's inaccurate. They do have 4. It just I didn't understand how to select the 4th. Um,
Oh, okay.
but I don't know. It's pretty easy to move that stuff in and out, and like for your middle tree, you have this. Once you basically like the more you use a certain weapon type, then the more kind of bonuses you get for using it, and then you
Oh,
get
nice.
I forget what it is. It's that level 15 thing that occurs where you go and you do I guess you may not, people may not know this. Okay. Around level 15 to 20, I don't remember exactly which level. You get a story quest to unlock some special ability for your character, and it's not your ultimate ability.
Oh, okay.
Uh, for the barbarian, like you have that tree where you use a sword so many times you get a bonus. Um, the thing you unlock is you can apply that bonus to all your weapons now. You just choose one of those
Ah,
things, and it goes everywhere.
interesting.
I don't I don't know what the other classes get, and that is also one of the quests that took me somewhere to kind of the Act 2 or 3 areas. Um,
Okay.
but that map is huge, so
Yeah.
um, anyway, what else have I played? So I played more Vampire Survivors.
Mm.
Um, that is still a great game. They added more detailed maps for the other DLCs. Um, Basically, if it's not like an Infinity style map with very little in it, then they have released a actual graphical map for it. Two of the OG characters that you can unlock now change into other things, like at level 80. So
Oh,
um, I want to say it's the panda. Like the panda's not black and white, right? Like it's a uh,
I don't remember now that you're asking that question.
yeah, okay. So it's Yada Cavallo, um, who is I'm pretty sure it's a panda. I guess it's kind of black and white. It does not look like a panda to me. It just like looks like a
Like a dog
animal
or something. Yeah.
dusky thing. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Um, so once you hit level 80 now, if you have the Forbidden Scrolls of Morbane, um, no, that's wrong. That's what I get for trying to read the wiki on the spot with this podcast. There, it doesn't matter. But now you kind of evolve into this like larger, cool thing, and your weapon evolves with you.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
and I think they did something for Bones on that end too.
Okay.
I think it was Bones. I haven't tried his out yet, but I now have everything unlocked in that game again.
Nice.
Um, I think both DLCs are great. I think the weapons they introduce in both of them are great. The problem I'm finding is every time I play, I just want to use whatever weapons they released recently. Like
Right.
they seem to be the most entertaining. I did have to like one of the last unlocks that I just kept playing this level, and I'm like, man, how do I like? You're supposed to kill 6,000 of these worms called Sammys,
Hmm.
uh, and they like have a smiley face head. It's kind of funny, but I was just like, how in the heck do you do that in one of these? And I looked it up, and there is like this tiny little spot on one of the new DLC maps that you just kind of got to hang out in most of the map to get it.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
so I finally went through and did that. I don't have all the upgrades like filled out.
Hmm.
Um, Partly because I don't really care. But and that's a lot of money to grind. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That game is fantastic. I love that game. I'm gonna buy every DLC they do for it.
I
Um,
keep hoping they're gonna bring it out on PlayStation because that's my daily driver. I feel a little bit more hopeful now that they're gonna bring it out on Switch. Hopefully that they'll bring it over to. I mean, I'll keep playing it on Xbox, but I just haven't bought any of the DLC yet because I know as soon as I do, I'll just get 1,000% back into that game, and that's
yeah,
just a lot of game in there. So
it it is, and a lot of the unlocks in DLC are play with this character for half an hour and do this thing.
right,
Um,
right.
so they're all kind of timed, stacked on each other. That is crazy to me. It is not out on PlayStation. I
Yeah, I keep hoping it's out on mobile. It's out on it's coming out on Switch. They're doing like a couch co-op mode, which sounds like it could be pretty fun. Um, but hopefully soon. I'd like to, you know, spend my hard-earned whatever it is, like $2.50 to buy it on another platform
yeah,
to support the developer.
I am really curious to how it will run on Switch. I'll be honest with you.
Yep.
it's oddly enough, it just once you hit 20 minutes or so, like the
You
game
can
can
get
start chugging depending on what you're playing on.
yeah,
Uh,
even on Xbox, it could get a little spicy every once in a while.
yeah. Um, so then I started. I don't know. I just decided I wanted to watch TV, so I was looking for something else on my Steam Deck to play. So I started a new game on Symphony of War, the Nephilim saga,
Oh yeah,
whatever that
yeah.
word is. And like they have a DLC due out sometime this summer. I was hoping it would come out quicker than it has. Uh, I say quicker than it has. It hasn't come out. I want it to
Right.
come out. I wanted it to come out last month. Um, but anyway, I just set it to harder. I guess they did a graphical update. Um, like the art style hasn't changed at all, and I don't remember enough about how it used to look. But a lot of the graphics look smoother now, and um, I'm not. I don't remember the game well enough to know what they changed or added. But I'm trying to approach the story, I think, this time with a more fair mind than I did last time.
Hmm.
Um, which, the story was inoffensive. I go back and forth between, like, are they trying to say something here, or did they just think of, like, oh, maybe it'd be narratively neat if we did this and didn't really
Oh sure.
do more with it? I don't know. But that game is still great. I still love tearing apart and rebuilding my army.
Hmm.
I'm still not getting all the bonus objectives on a lot of these levels because it is ridiculously hard, especially the one that is on screen right now with Beatrix. Um, that one and like, gosh, so that level, you're fighting along and then she enters the field and she just one shots anyone she attacks and she's
Oh
on the
jeez.
field for, I don't remember, 4 or 5 turns. Um, and like to meet your first or to meet all 3 objectives, you have to beat this thing in 10 turns. Um,
Gosh.
and staying out of her range while still like doing damage to the enemy and conquering places is not great. Like she doesn't have like she can't cover the map or anything like that. It's
Hmm.
just she can still cover enough of it, like
Right.
it is difficult. It is easy to find yourself in, oh crap, well I guess that guy's gone. But
That's right.
I don't play with permadeath on in this game, so
Oh yeah.
I guess I should also mention, like, for anyone who is interested in playing this game, you may be expecting your units to just have the attributes they need naturally to qualify for the next class up. And that will not happen 60 to 75% of the time.
Interesting.
You basically, like, you get like a ton of items in this game and you can buy a lot of items. So you got to be kind of on the lookout for things that'll increase strength and magic, skill, and I don't remember the other one.
Kind of like your
Um,
your base attributes.
yeah, exactly. But there's like a dozen base attributes, so that's
Oh
why I'm
wow.
naming them. Like, so like if you got a soldier who you want to upgrade into one of those guys with the big shields or something, you need a certain strength prerequisite, and you may not
Sure.
qualify for that. And it part of it also may be too that like the unit you have stat wise is more like, even though he's a soldier, maybe you should back him up and make him a mage. But
Oh, okay.
this game this game does not penalize you for moving up and down the ranks. It'll refund the materials as you use or, de-rank your units.
That's nice.
Um, and I think they keep like an aspect of their stats as they move up and down too. But this is just me saying, if you play this game, after a couple battles, maybe be a little bit more proactive with it than you
Right.
would in a normal game. Um, but it's also just super fun team crafting because you have so many leadership points and each unit's worth, so many points, and then you start getting like they start costing extra points, but you get so many units in, but you have items that can kind of increase that point pool, and like You have different ways where you're like, well, I only got 4 or 5 troops in this unit, but maybe like I can keep them from getting killed by putting this item that automatically freezes all the enemies for the first round.
Mm.
Uh, or maybe I put this item on them where even on defense they get to attack first.
Mm.
There's a lot of fun strategy things to it, and it's not like a particularly, even on hard mode, it's not particularly hard.
Right.
Um, but it's a lot of fun. Like if ogre battle's your thing, like this, you should play this game.
Yeah.
Then man, it gets real fun too when you get like 9 units in a freaking troop.
That's right.
You're just you're decimating most of what they throw at you, but by that time you'll have some boss battles that still require some planning.
Mm.
But I'm excited for the DLC. I will buy it when it comes out. I think the first time through I played as the female version of the protagonist, and this time I did the male.
Okay.
I really didn't want to. I don't know why. I don't like the artwork for the male protagonist.
Mm.
And I think the first time through I romanced the paladin, who turns into an enormous. Well, okay, that's a spoiler. I won't say that. It's a minor spoiler. Her class upgrade is amazing.
Oh,
Just
okay.
say that. And I haven't decided who I'm going to romance this time. It doesn't really seem to matter, but you can kind of like as options open up, you can kind of decide who gets to be with who.
Oh, okay.
And there were a couple pairing last times that I thought were kind of they did not seem happy together.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So I figured I might play around with that, but that's such a like I feel like they wanted it to be more of a part of the game than it actually was. Like 90%
Right.
of your times, like okay, if we make the percentage pie of how much time you spend in this game, it's going to be like 40% of your time in battle, 10% of your time doing character conversations, and then 50% of your time building and rebuilding your army, unless
Right.
you just aren't enjoying the game and then you aren't rebuilding and building your army because that's how you're
Right.
supposed to play the
Right.
game. And then last but not least, last night I finally started the Horizon Burning Shores DLC.
Oh, nice.
It we had that podcast a couple of months ago where we were talking about having to figure out how to download it and this and this and that, and
Yep.
I had done all those steps and it still had not downloaded.
Great.
I had to press the options button on the icon. I had to go to manage content. I had to select the DLC and then tell it to download that way for it to finally download.
Oh man.
Um,
And
so
what's so
if you
wild is
are,
like none of my other games on the PS5. I've never run into anything that has come close to the issues with this game.
yeah,
It's really wild.
yeah, I had to Google it to figure that out. Evidently, it is a common issue. It is considered a bit of a glitch.
Oh wow.
Um, I don't know. I wonder if they just like mislisted something on the store and it won't let them
Right.
change because Sony just didn't make a tool for them to change it or something,
Right.
But anyway, I finally started it. I'll just do some minor spoilers for the first like 10 minutes of it and then
Mhm.
kind of give a general opinion. So you start out well, first off, when you load in the game, Silence announces he's taken. Oh gosh, when did this come out? This came out last year. I can spoil the original game a little, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, spoiler alert here for a little bit if you're maybe in the middle of it.
Yeah, like I won't give away like the main plot line or anything. Just, but I'm going to talk about Silence a bit.
Hmm.
So when you load up, Silence announces he's going to go hang out at your base. And
Right.
I imagine that's what they said, like when they said they had a tribute to Lance Riddick. I imagine that's what it was.
Oh,
And he is,
I saw somebody just posted that where they put like a holographic like memorial somewhere. It's not in your base, but it's somewhere else, and I don't remember where it is. I'd have to look it up.
okay. I'll have to look that up and go see it. Well,
Yeah.
either way, I enjoy having Silence at the base.
Yep.
But so, like, I guess my time with the game went okay. I launched the loading screen. it says once I've downloaded the DLC, I should start, but I think I've downloaded, so I'm going to start the game. So I played for like an hour and just hunted stuff and talked to Silence, and I can't remember. I feel like I found some weird fetch quest I hadn't done or something, but and then I exited the game and I did my Googling. I got it installed. I went back in, and I went and talked to, I want to say Silence again, and then you fly down to the new area where you immediately get shot down out of the sky and can't fly anymore.
Okay. There you go.
Which is a funny. I don't know. It's entertaining, but it's fine. I get it. Like you can't have your player having access to the whole new area, but so the new area seems to be about the size of like on the original on Forbidden West, from where you start to where your base is. If you scrunched all that up in kind of a square area, I think they'd be similar sizes.
Okay, that's pretty big.
Yeah, it's pretty healthy, and it has there's more landmass variety in that I have seen lava. I don't remember
Ooh,
seeing lava in the original game.
that's exciting.
You kind of go down there, and there's kind of a tower that's gone out, and you're on the lookout for like the bad guy group from the original game is they evidently have a member who went down this way that you were hunting.
Oh, okay.
Is the deal. So once you get down there, you find the Quinn, which is kind of like if you played the main game, there's a connection there with that group.
Mm-hmm.
And you meet a lady who I assume is the love interest. It is. I may be wrong. I feel like there have been several characters who I thought, oh, this is definitely Aloy's love interest, and I was wrong. But
Right.
I'm fairly certain this is it. So you run into her, you talk to the leader of the group, and if you're like me, you get reminded that, oh, right, the Quinn are the people who named all their places like corporate like name positions.
Oh, that's right. Like their leader was the CEO, the CEO.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I forgot about that. I really liked that. Those characters. The like accidental tech bros
yeah,
in this world was pretty good.
yeah. It was. Anyway, they're a fun faction. I'm glad we get to see more of them.
Yeah, that's exciting.
So they have a giant city that you're just
Oh
kind of
wow.
hanging out in. And they gave me a story quest, and I immediately went off and did the side quest they gave me,
That's
which,
right.
like all the main game side quests, was pretty fantastic.
Hmm.
I do have to leverage one criticism on the game that I've experienced so far, which is I remember the platforming being better in the main game.
Okay.
Like the way Aloy climbs and the way you look for things and whatnot, the camera seems really at odds for you with the level design in this one.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting.
and that may just be me getting used to the controls again, because this is not a game control set that like I gotta get, like, it's good once you get used to it, but if you're not used to it, you gotta you gotta play a minute like to remember it all.
Yeah, especially coming back after, the game did a pretty good job when you first started it of kind of reintroducing you to the controls. But I had that same problem playing the first one when I played that whatever the like snowy winter DLC was. I was sort of like, oh wait, how do I? Okay, yeah, that's how I run and jump and like look backwards and jump on something. Okay, yeah. Like it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, the hard part on this for me has been like, okay, how do I exit the thing I'm riding? Okay,
Yes.
where? It took me a bit for that. Uh, the the duck and slide buttons, like I'm still
Yeah.
getting that mixed up. I forgot that you now have a special move with your staff, and I had to look at the controller diagram to figure that
Oh,
one out.
right.
They took a complex control set with Forbidden West and made it more complex, but it worked within the context of the game. It's just no one else is using that control language, so
Right.
it just atrophies when you're not playing the game, unfortunately.
It's the same problems I'm having with Tears of the Kingdom, where I'm like, wait, how do I do? Oh, yeah, right. I got to hold this button, then hold this other one, and then I can do. Yeah, okay, yeah. I got it. I think.
Gosh, so it's going to be even. You're going to come back to this game and be like, "Oh, this is like Tears of the." Oh, no, it's not. It's
It's
nothing. What?
part of the reason why I haven't played it yet, because I'm like, all right, I'm like way into Tears of the Kingdom. I can't do another game that's similar enough that like that's just going to cause me too many problems.
Yeah, I don't know. I was sitting down the other day. I was like, I need to play that DLC. I'm
I think
not in
it's
the middle
time.
of any game. I feel like, yeah,
Yeah,
I don't. I don't know Diablo any allegiance.
that's right. I can play other stuff, Diablo.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I'm not expecting it to be super long. I mean, I'm sure it is once you explore everything, but
I've heard it's a couple hours. I think sub 10 hours, so it's not too bad.
ooh, yeah, talking my language.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. People are
That
like, I
is,
can't believe it was only under 10 hours. I was like, yeah, tell me more.
I mean, it's the same graphical fidelity as the rest, like the previous game. So I'm already happy. You know,
Yeah.
like it is still one of the best looking games out there. Like
Oh, for
hands
sure.
down. Um, I I'm amazed how much I had forgotten about that.
Yep,
Just I am flying through the sky and everything looks amazing.
that's right.
Uh, anyway, so I'm barely anywhere in it. I basically went and did a really good side quest that had really good story elements to it. That seemed significant, and then met up with the possible love interest lady, and we are now exploring a tower. I'm assuming at the end of the tower, I'm going to meet the main bad guy, and then hijinks will ensue.
Right.
Um, but if you like Forbidden West, my gut is telling me you will like this,
Yeah.
and that is all I've been playing.
Um, I totally forgot until we started talking that I should probably put a plug here for our latest Game Club game, which actually turned out to be sort of an RPG, with Werewolf: The Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest, which is still
Oh
an
yeah,
impossibly long game title. But we played. It's like a tabletop RPG, visual novel kind of combo thing. Um, very much like kind of how I consider Citizen Sleeper. That same kind of well written tabletop RPG sort of thing. Um, I think all three of us really enjoyed this. You'll have to listen to the episode to kind of hear how our stories diverged pretty seriously. But I think all of us played it in like maybe 4 hours max.
yeah.
So it's not a super long game, and I think it surprised us more than we were expecting, which is nice.
I well, okay, not to divert us too much. I would recommend it. I did not think I was going to replay it until we did our podcast, and now like at some point I'm like,
Right.
I'm just gonna hit an evening and play through the whole thing and go all aggressive or non-aggressive, you know?
Yeah, have like a rainy day, and you're like, yeah, I can sit here and I could
Yeah.
blow through another playthrough of this. Sure, why not? Um, so I recommend it. I think if you like kind of tabletop RPG character sheets sort of thing, it was pretty cool. It's got some good stuff, and we took the opportunity to kind of take some more pot shots at what was it, Vampire the Masquerade Coteries of New York that we liked 95% of. So
I, they're gonna make like a AAA game someday that's gonna blow the world away, and we're
I
gonna be
know.
doing a podcast and loving on it and bring up how much we
That's
disliked
right. Everyone
Coteries.
remember Coteries? Blah. So yeah, so Werewolf: The Apocalypse, Heart of the Forest. Go check it out. We had a good time with that. My last game here, because we already talked about Diablo 4. I think my wife and I played it for maybe less than an hour. We made it to the first waypoint in the first big city before we had to stop. We can't really play it because we have a 6-year-old that's on summer break. So like, there's no there's no opportunity to play it. If anyone hasn't seen the intro movie of the game where Lilith turns three people into like a blood hammock, then there's a lot of game is very mature. But I have been playing a bunch of Final Fantasy V because the 4-Job Fiesta is going on right now. The 2023 4-Job Fiesta has started. It still goes on for like 2 more months, I think, if anyone wanted to start. Big change this year is that you don't need Twitter anymore. If you just go to 4jobfiesta.com, you can sign up and manage your runs and finish your runs all on the website itself.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's he sort of had to do it because of all the API changes, but it had been kind of an understandable blocker for a lot of people of like, well, I'm not going to sign up for Twitter just to do this thing. It's like, I get it, but like, you don't have to use Twitter. But now you don't have to use Twitter at all. He's also made a bunch of different run types. So if you... and he also updated the help page, which is great. So if you have any questions about the 4-Job Fiesta or anything, the help page is really good now. I am nearing the end of my first run. My run is White Mage, Black Mage, Summoner, Blue Mage. So it has been an incredibly easy run. I'm dragging my feet a little bit here in World 3. I have finished the first dungeon, the pyramid. I still have to do, oh god, what is that even called? Whatever temple you fight the Wendigo things at the end. Fork Tower, and then I'll finish the game up by that point.
What version are you playing this time?
So I'm actually playing the Pixel remaster on PS5. Cool. I recently, I don't think it was last episode, maybe an episode or two ago, where I talked about platinuming Final Fantasy V. I was really happy with how that worked. So I've been playing it on that, and it's good. I think for Fiesta purposes, I especially like the auto battle. It's just really great of like, especially for my group, because they're all very squishy magic users. I'm spending 95% of my run running away from literally every trash mob, and then in like 2 or 3 places in the game, I like focus grind for a little bit until my levels are up, and then I kind of run away from everything for a while there. So that helps a lot, and I appreciate the boosts they have in the game. So you can boost, and I probably talked about this a couple months ago, but you can boost your ABP, which is essentially like your skill points, experience, and gil, and you can turn encounters on and off. So you can boost those like 2 times or 4 times, or actually 0.5 times or 0 times if you want to make it really hard. But as soon as I start the game, I set gil to ×4, and then I just don't have to worry about farming for anything at that point. Largely because if I turn it on at the beginning of the game, by the time I get to the Phantom Village in World 3 all the way at the end, I usually have enough money to buy 4 Hermes sandals, and then everybody can have permanent haste, and then you just kind of mop up the back part of that game.
Nice.
So I've been really happy with that version so far. I in this run, I haven't run into any problems. I feel like I ran into some problems with a specific party. It was maybe last year when I tried it on Pixel. It was either that or I ran the old mobile version, what most people call Matrix. And I don't really remember. But so far, everything has been going really well, and my run has been pretty good. I tried to have a run that was going to be a little bit more difficult, and it turns out I got an incredibly easy one, so I'll probably have to ratchet up the difficulty a little bit more on the next one. There's a new type of run I don't remember the name of, but there's a new type of run that seems really very difficult, so I'll probably try and run one of those at some point just to see how spicy it really is. But so far so good, and I'm every time the Forge Out Fiesta comes up, I'm always sort of like, yeah, all right, yeah, okay, yeah, I can play more Final Fantasy V. It's about that time of year, okay. And then I do a bunch of runs, put them all in the spreadsheet, and then I kind of call it for the rest of the year. So if you are playing the Forge Out Fiesta, highly recommend going on our Discord server. I think you can just do discord.tvgp.tv and it'll take you to the link. Every year we have a Final Fantasy V Forge Out Fiesta channel. We have another one this year. There's a bunch of us playing it this year, and I think there's at least one person, if not two, that's playing it for the first time. And actually, a big shout out to Feyroor from the community. She's running it for the first time. She's playing Final Fantasy V for the first time, and this is actually her first Final Fantasy game. So it's been pretty fun to kind of live vicariously through her experiences of kind of learning how to play not only 5, but kind of a Final Fantasy game overall. So there's a bunch of us in there that have been doing this for a long time, and we're super, super eager to help. So if you want to play and you want to come and hang out and chat, go over to the Discord server and come hang out with us. And I think if you've never played Final Fantasy V before, Forge Out Fiesta is probably a great way to start, because you kind of have a bunch of restrictions in the game instead of like, here's 20 jobs, good luck, figure it out. And you can kind of figure out the puzzle of each boss fight with the tools you've been given, which is really great. So Final Fantasy V, Forge Out Fiesta, I love it. I don't know how many runs this is at this point. I should pull up my spreadsheet here, but it's quite a bit. And I still really enjoy playing Final Fantasy V. It's probably still my favorite Final Fantasy, and I'm still really loving it. It doesn't hurt that I have a super easy class this time. This looks like this is my 27th run since 2011. So some years has been just like I did 1, and some years have been like I did 6. Let's go deep on this. So ForgeOutFiesta.com, go do it. It's still great. I love it. So I'm playing. Let's do releases here real quickly. For July 2023, Legend of Heroes Trails into Reverie comes out PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC on July 7th. If I understand correctly, this is the end of the Trails into series, so absolutely not the beginning point for any Legend of Heroes game. I'm also not the expert on the kind of Legend and Trails and Azure and all those games. I know there's a bunch of really good guides out there of like, hey, I want to get started on this kind of big series. Where should I start? Go check out one of those. I know there's a couple of really good starting points. One I'm really excited about. I totally forgot it's coming out this month. Remnant 2 comes out PS5, Series consoles, and PC on July 25th. This is a sequel of Remnant from the Ashes, which I know you played pretty close to release, and I played, I think it was early last year, and I actually really enjoyed. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do with this one, because that was a cool game, and I haven't seen too many previews of this actually, so I'm kind of curious to see. I should go see what they added or changed or whatnot, but this is probably pretty cool.
I know being on a podcast, I really should like keep more up with video game news and previews, but I really kind of enjoy not doing it, honestly, like, and not getting caught up and getting whatever emotions, judgmental or otherwise, I might get about it. But
getting on the hype train.
Yeah, but also, like, I just spent a bunch of money on some house stuff, so I probably can't buy it when it comes out anyway. But
right,
I will play Remnant 2 at some point.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 comes out on PC on August 3rd. This is coming out on PS5 at the end of this year, and then it's coming out on Xbox whenever it's done. Basically, it sounds like they are having some development issues on the Xbox side. I was pretty interested in maybe checking this out. I was never a Baldur's Gate guy. And then Larian Studios said, like, most playthroughs are going to take like 80 to 100 hours. And I was like, bro, you're killing me here, man. I can't do that.
They're like, we gotta have a playtime similar to the original Baldur's Gate games, which
no,
is probably greater than that, honestly. Like, they're probably 100 to 200 hour games if you do all the side quests and stuff.
Right.
But,
yeah.
I think that's my issue with the Divinity games, too. Like, I really like those, but they're 100-hour games, too.
Yeah, I'm more on... lately, I'm more on the Chrono Trigger end of the spectrum right now. You give me a hot, like, 15 to 20 hours, including side quests. Yeah, that's the good stuff I can get into. And last but not least, coming out also same day, August 3rd, Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, comes out on PC. Highly recommend you check out a trailer of this. It is essentially a musical singing conversation-based RPG that the music was directed by Austin Wintory, who you probably remember from Journey, among like 400 other incredible things. But it has an all-star voice cast. The music actually sounds pretty good, and it seems like a really cool idea. I don't know if it's been a while since we've gotten a singing art musical. I think last one I can think of is what's it called, Rhapsody, maybe on the PS1. There was that musical RPG that somebody brought over. I don't remember who. But it's nice to see that we're getting something a little bit different here. So we'll see. I don't know if it is coming to consoles or if it is when. I couldn't find a specific date. Knowing this show, they'll announce it, as soon as it comes out. But that's Stray Gods, the role-playing musical, coming out on August 3rd.
I think I'm, anything Mary Elizabeth McGlynn sings, I am in for. Like, she did.
That's right.
Vocal work on the Silent Hill songs.
Mm-hmm.
And, she voice acted the Major and the Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
Well, most of the Ghost in the Shell stuff. I think they swapped her out on a few of them. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Also, Laura Bailey is the main character, too, and she's always incredible. So, like...
Yeah. I mean, the whole list is amazing. It's just...
Yep.
Mary Elizabeth McGlynn is one of my music...
yeah.
My music fandoms there, so...
Right. All right. That's our releases for this month, and that's actually our episode for this month. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at pickingupthepixels.com. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Musum, where can we find you online?
You can find me at my link tree at linktr.ee/John Musum. That's MUSIM. And it'll have links to whatever you want to find me with.
You made me look up what my site is, and I'm at campsite.bio/Jansten, JANSTEN. That has all the links to all the places you can find this show and TVGP, all that stuff, my work at Death the Emblem Collector, all that stuff. If you want to look at my source code over on GitHub, you can do that too. I mean, you probably don't want to, but there is some stuff over there. I think that's it. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you all next month. Bye.
Bye.